Hey everyone, this is Nikki dxgirly. Welcome to my 5th channel, dxgirly Likes BJDs, where I talk about my experiences with ball jointed dolls and other dolls too thrown in. I'm here today with my Stasia and my Kiki, and we are doing the Never Have I Ever tag by my friend Nerdydollgirl. So she has a channel here on YouTube and she made up this tag the other day. Might have been yesterday or the day before. I can't remember, but she posted a video of it and I have internet again. Our internet went out here and I felt like I was living in the Stone Age, but it is back now. So if you follow me over on Instagram, you probably saw all my whiny stories I posted over there. Anyways, yeah, gonna do this tag. So let's get Kiki up here, looking cute in this, her wig. Girl. Okay. The Never Have I Ever doll tag. Let's see. The first question is, never have I ever bought a doll I couldn't afford. I definitely have done that. Not so much that it didn't let me pay my bills, but like, especially with my pull-ups when I was with my ex, I would spend a little bit too much on dolls and we'd have less like grocery money for the week. Not like to a ridiculous extent, but yeah, just spent a little too much on those dollies. With my BJDs, my mini soup that I bought last month isn't here yet. I spent all of my spending money basically. I left myself with like $20 for the month of fun money. And yeah, so, and I'm still feeling the reverberations, the effects of that a month later. So, yeah, I have definitely done that. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay the layaway payment on the Honey Delph that I have right now. So, don't always make the wisest decision when it comes to money and dolls. So yes, I definitely have done that. Never have I ever gotten inspired to buy a doll and copy someone else's style after seeing what they did with the same doll. Now, I'm gonna say kind of, because this girl, seeing other people's aunties on Instagram inspired me to get this girl, but she's not like copied to another person's style. Like, I took inspiration from other people's face-ups, and obviously they all have, or most of them I saw have professional face-ups done, so they look gorgeous. So I just tried to kind of do what I could to make them look similar, but not, I mean, obviously I can't replicate those beautiful face-ups that they do. So, yeah, I mean, just seeing her with a face-up on inspired me to get this doll is what I'm trying to say. So, kind of, but I didn't like necessarily copy someone else's style. I don't think, like, Kiki doesn't even really have a style. She wears whatever I put her in, and that's about it. Next is, never have I ever put a doll on layaway. As I mentioned earlier, I have a layaway right now going on with a Honey Delph, and I also already paid off a layaway early of a Kid Delph. So yes, I have done layaways. Never have I ever cut any of my doll's hair. Oh, girl. So of course, I mean, most little girls cut their doll's hair at some points, or cut their own hair or their sister's hair at some point. So I probably did it when I was a little girl, but the only instance I can really think of as an adult was when I had my Monster High dolls, and I had a Catty Noir, and you know, her signature doll has really long hair. So I had multiples of her, and to like differentiate one of them, I just cut it shorter. But I'm not good at cutting doll hair. That's why I don't do it to my dolls, because I'm horrible at cutting doll hair or any hair. I can't, like, I'm just like right across, and it looks blunt and it looks not nice. I just don't know how to cut hair. So I try not to do it. I know a lot of people with their pull-up dolls will trim the bangs because they don't necessarily sit on the heads, because they're wigs made for BJDs, so they don't sit on pull-up's head the same way, and they'll trim the bangs, but I am not brave enough to do that. I know it would come out looking horrible if I did. Never have I ever done a repaint. Well, I mean, obviously I did face up on this girl, but she wasn't a repaint because she wasn't painted before. But I mean, I guess you mean just doing a face up on a doll, which I have. I've done her, and I've done 8 pull-ups, a Taiyang, and a Yolame. The Yolame actually was a repaint because I wiped her original face, because they don't make meal kits of the Yolame. So I wiped her original face and made a totally new one myself. So yes, I have done that. Never have I ever bought a doll just because it was on sale. Well, yes, I have. I mean, back when I collected like Ever After High and Monster High, I would do it all the time. But if we're talking about BJDs and other expensive dolls, I have, because last month when I bought my Supia doll that I mentioned earlier, the reason I bought her right then was because they were having a sale on the double jointed bodies and a free shipping event, and I thought there would not be a more opportune time to buy her, so I did. So you can say that I bought it just because it was on sale. I did want her though. Like, if you go back and watch my original Wine and Dollies video, I even talk about wanting that doll back in like September of last year. But the only reason I bought her right then was because she was on sale, if that makes sense. Next question. Never have I ever wished I could trade my collection for someone else's. So we're gonna split up the doll collection. Sorry, I have a cold. We're gonna split up the doll collection into types of dolls, because my pull-up doll collection, even when it was at its greatest, when I had over 100 dolls, pull-up dolls, I still would have traded it for a Mocha Crush's pull-up doll collection, because she has a lot of custom pull-ups by very well-respected face-up artists and full custom makers in the pull-up community, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous. But I can't bring myself to spend $400 to $800 on a pull-up doll. I just can't. I can't do it. I might one day for Belladonna or Sharon dolls, but I don't know, maybe. I'd have to save up. I'd have to save up and really do like a commission. But right now I'm not in the place to, so I don't know. But yeah, Mocha Crush's pull-up collection is amazing. Amazing. Go check out her channel if you're into pull-ups, and her collection videos, because her collection's beautiful. Not even like her stock dolls. Like, she had a lot of stock dolls, but I had a lot of stock dolls. Just her custom collection is gorgeous. Next question. Never have I ever hated a doll company purely on the look of their dolls. I think hate is a very strong word. I don't really hate any doll companies. Maybe because I only have 2 dolls and I don't have a really bad experience. But it says on the look of their dolls. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of like Miro dolls just because their heads and facial sculpts are just not my aesthetic, if that makes sense. Like, I like really cutesy, you know, fairy looking dolls, like Fairyland. It's just not my aesthetic. I don't hate the doll company though. But yeah, so I mean, I guess that would be my answer if I had to say I have, but I really haven't hated a doll company because of the look of their dolls. Okay, next. Never have I ever been to a doll convention. No, but I was very close to getting tickets to go to Puddle, which is the pull-up and dowel doll lovers event. I think that's what the acronym stands for, which is basically the pull-up convention here in the US. They have every year it's in a suburb of Chicago. I was very close to going to that. Rob, my ex, and I had talked about making a whole trip out of it, and had they sold tickets earlier, like a month earlier than they actually did, I definitely would have bought those tickets and not been able to go now, obviously, because of life reasons. So that's about the closest I've ever gotten to going to a doll convention. But otherwise I haven't, which is sad. I would love to. I wouldn't have anyone to go with, but I would love to. Never have I ever restrung a doll. Nope. It terrifies me even thinking about it. Like, with Stasia, I haven't even taken off her head, her feet, or her hands. I dress her with all of those on because it terrifies me to remove them. And just the thought of restringing them completely terrifies me. I don't ever want to have to do it. I know it's like an inevitable thing in the BJD community to restring a doll, but I just do not want to do it. I do not. I would like send it to Sarah Swans because to get restrung. I think she actually does that. Has that service. That terrifies me. Never have I ever hid the fact that I collect dolls. I have never hid that fact. I'm very, very open about collecting dolls, like even on my personal Facebook where I chat with my family and friends and acquaintances and random people I worked with at jobs 10 years ago. I'm very, very open about it. Never have I ever talked to my dolls. Now, I don't have full-on conversations with my dolls, but I do say like, oh, you look so pretty, or like if they're not behaving, like if I'm trying to take a picture of them posed in a certain way and they won't go that way, or they keep falling down in the case of my pull-ups, I kind of say like if Stasia was falling over, I'd be like, what the fuck, Stasia, stop falling over. But that's about the extent of me talking to my dolls. Never have I ever lied about liking a friend's doll. So, no one, luckily, has ever flat out asked me, do you like my doll? So technically I haven't lied about liking a friend's doll. However, not even my friends, just acquaintances I have in the doll community, if someone is doing, for instance, their first face up, and it's not perfect, like, you know what I mean? It's not, there's areas in which they could improve. I will actively choose not to point out those errors, and will say like the positives of what that face up has. You know what I mean? Like if someone is just starting out and their pull-ups face up doesn't look fantastic, or isn't up to my aesthetic, I won't point out that it's not. I will compliment them on something that they did right. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I understand the purpose of constructive criticism. I think I'm probably not the right one to give it. So I choose to, I'm not lying. I'm just picking out things that I like. You know what I mean? I feel like most people do that. Most people that try to be like drama free in the doll community will do that. They'll either pass by and not say anything, or they'll choose something nice to say about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest with you. The people that go around telling other people that their work is crap are the people I have more of an issue with than, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's better to lie to a certain extent. I don't know. That's why I'll never ask you guys, do you like my doll? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to ask you that. I feel like that can be a loaded question. Then, never have I ever wanted to sell all my dolls and start over. Okay, so I have kind of done this before to a certain extent with types of dolls. Initially, when I first started collecting dolls as an adult, sorry, my cat is wanting to get in the back door. Hold on, guys. It's like a nor'easter outside and my poor cat wants to come inside. All right, where was I? You happy now that you're inside? He was crying at the back door, and we have a nor'easter that's just coming in. We're supposed to get like over 18 inches of snow tomorrow. Up here in Massachusetts. So sure. Never have I ever wanted, okay, so when I first started collecting dolls when I was an adult, I got into it. First I was collecting My Little Ponies. And there is a forum, like a message board on the internet called My Little Pony Arena. And on that message board, there's a doll section. And at that time, this was like 2012, I think it was. Yeah, like very early 2012, late 2011, early 2012. And people were really into Monster High at the time. So I went crazy. I collected a lot of Monster High dolls. I think I had over 300 at one point. I had like everything. And then I just kind of, they came out with Ever After High dolls, and I preferred them to the Monster High dolls because I've always been like a fairy tale princessy pastel pretty person. So I preferred them. So I kind of felt done with my Monster High dolls, and I sold off almost all of them. And then when, I can't say, I had my whole Ever After High collection until we moved into our apartments last June. my ex and I, and I had to kind of downsize, and I got rid of a bunch of my Ever After High dolls because I was collecting pull-up dolls instead, and I wanted room for the pull-up dolls. So, and then when my ex left me, I could only keep a certain amount of dolls, so I had to get rid of almost all of my collection. It seems to be like a reoccurring theme where I get rid of all of one kind of doll, or almost all of one kind of doll, in order to have a different kind of doll. I feel like that will stop with BJDs because they are the ultimate. They're like, I know this sounds silly, but like I went up a financial step every time because Monster High dolls, most of them were cheaper than Ever After High dolls, and then from the Ever After High dolls I went to the pull-up dolls, and now I've kind of transitioned to BJDs. I still love my pull-ups, and I have a Monster High doll and a custom Barbie, and a la-di-da doll that my friend, all of them are from my friend Jason, who gave them to me, and I still have them. But, and I still plan on making pull-up customs, but, you know what I mean? Like I kind of moved on to BJDs. So I kind of have sold all my dolls and started over. But I don't think, as far as BJD collecting, I don't think I'll ever sell all my dolls and start over. One, because selling things kind of makes me anxious. And especially with ball jointed dolls where I'm still such a noob when it comes to ball jointed dolls. I can't see myself wanting to sell them and getting into all that entails. And just, they mean so much to me right now. Like these two I have, they hold such special places in my heart because they were both gifts. Stasia is from Jess Dorks a lot and Sarah Swans, and Kiki is from my mom, dad, and Nana, and they're just, these two at least are gifts, and I can't ever see myself just giving them away, you know what I mean? So I don't think it will ever happen again. Next is, never have I ever obsessed about a doll. Okay, never have I ever obsessed about a doll. I obsess about all my dolls at some point. And I go way overboard. You know, when I start collecting something, I dive in completely head first. So that's how I amassed such a huge collection of all my different collections. Like, I would obsess over Monster High. I ended up with over 300 of them. I obsessed with Ever After High. I think I had I had every single release up to a certain point, and basically when they stopped making them the same way that they were. And then I had over 100 pull-ups. I dive head first into each hobby that I have. Obsessing about a particular doll, not for a long time if it's a particular doll, because I usually just buy it. You know what I mean? Like if I really want something, I'll obsess about it until I can buy it. And then when I get it, I take a million pictures of it. Like if you're over on my Instagram, I've taken a million pictures of Kiki here, and I've been not taking as many pictures of Stasia and not taking as many pictures of my pull-ups, and they're kind of not getting enough attention because I'm obsessing about her, you know what I mean? She's the newest thing. So I guess I kind of do obsess in that way, but about doll types, I definitely do. Like, definitely obsess about, like, BJDs. I'm all about BJDs right now. I'm like, one-track mind, and that's all I think about and all I do all day long, you know what I mean? So I definitely do that. I have a very obsessive type of personality, so. And then the last question. Never have I ever had a relationship end because of dolls. My relationship, okay, I haven't had any friendships end because of dolls or any family relationships. My only romantic relationship, it didn't end because of dolls. It ended because of so many different things I'm not going to go into here. If you want to hear about that, go over to my main channel. I talk about it in vlogs all the time. But he did not like my dolls, and it became a big issue at the end. He felt that I was spending more time and money on the dolls instead of him. That wasn't the reason that our relationship ended, but it was like a contributing factor, if that makes sense, which is sad. I mean, it's sad that he thought that, because it's not true. I'm gonna get into a mess because I would sell all my dolls, even these ones, if I could get him back. So that's not true, but I don't know. That was a loaded question. That was a question that made me sad. So, what a lovely way to end this video. But I try to be honest with you guys, and I'm shaking now. I'm shaking. So yeah, I try to be honest on my channel, so I hope you guys will forgive me getting upset at that question. But hopefully you still enjoyed this video. I do plan on either tonight or tomorrow night filming the Dolly name tag by Gina Izzardi. That I've seen several people do now. So I might do that at some point. I kind of have to do research for that video though, because when put on the spot, cannot remember anything, and you kind of have to think ahead of time of that in that video, because it talks about how you name your dolls and what your favorite names are and stuff like that, and it takes me a while to think of names, so I'm gonna have to think a bit before I might do what Sarah did and kind of write down my answers and go from there. But yeah, so thank you lovely people for watching my video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know, you kind of saw me a mess at the end of this video, but sorry for that, and maybe some of you will still want to subscribe. I'll probably lose some subscribers, but whatever, right? Yeah, I like this video. If you enjoyed it, thank you so much for watching. If you're not doing this tag in video form, I'd love to hear your answers down below. I'm gonna put the questions in the description box, so I'd love to hear your answers if you don't make videos. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hey everyone.